And now the Science of Mind reading, and just a little note on the Science of Mind reading as Christina is coming on up here. The Science of Mind magazine is available every single month. We have a new one, and it is available in our new and improved New Vision bookstore. Where is Lita? Oh my goodness. Amazing, amazing, amazing vision for the bookstore back there. We're really reaching out into the community, not just the people that are here. Tell your friends that we have amazing books back there. And, you know, if they really want to hear from a great author, they can just let us know and we will order the book. But the Science of Mind magazine is back there. If you don't get a subscription every month, that's okay. Every time you come in, you can go ahead and check it out, because each day they have daily thoughts that you can follow along, and this really helps solidify your spiritual practice at home. So, and it has a beautiful picture of India Irie on the cover. How fabulous is it that our teaching can just celebrate all these different artists? All right, thank you, Christina.
Thank you. And happy Mother's Day to everybody. Let's see, from Rumi. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. And from the Science of Mind, page 478, the essence of love, while elusive, pervades everything, fires the heart, stimulates the emotions, renews the soul, and proclaims the spirit. Tina Turner sang the successful song, What's Love Got to Do with It? Basically, it was asking, why have a heart when a heart can be broken? In a way, I understand that feeling. A lot of us have had our hearts broken more than once. But here is the thing. You are not broken. You are lovable because you exist. I do not believe that someone has to deliver you flowers, candy, or a card to validate your amazing beauty and life. You have within you gifts that cannot be measured. You are unique, creative, powerful, talented, and loving. I say, begin by loving yourself. Make yourself the number one priority. Nurture yourself. Be kind to yourself. Honor yourself. Respect yourself. Use meditation as a tool to reconnect to your spirit. A consistent spiritual practice will bring you to a remembrance that you have always been loved and important. I believe that love is all around us. I believe that love is the essence of the spirit. I believe that every act of loving kindness is a reflection of the infinite love that is available. I believe that love flows from within and is not something that you get. Open to love of self and witness the extraordinary ways that you are shown how much you mean to this world. What's love got to do with it? Everything. Love is who you are. And our affirmation, if we could say it together, please. Today, I bring my incredible self to the world. I shine my light and share my love. What returns to me is love beyond my wildness imaginations. And so it is.
Good morning and happy Mother's Day and welcome to Oak Brook Center for Spiritual Living. Let's stand for Oh Mother God. Words are on the screen here and at the back.
Oh Mother God, flowing through our hearts, we give thanks for the bread of our lives, for the hands in the earth, and the fruit of your womb, oh Mother God, blessed be. Oh Mother God, blessed be. Oh Mother God, flowing through our hearts, we give thanks for the bread of our lives, for the hands in the earth, and the fruit of your womb, oh Mother God, blessed be. Oh Mother God, blessed be. Oh Mother God, thank day for the love that you wash over me. And this joy in my heart I will share with the world. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, thank you for this day, for the love that you wash over me. And this joy in my heart I will share with the world. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Of your womb, oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, flowing through our hearts, we give thanks for the bread of our lives, for the hands in the earth, and the fruit of your womb, oh, Mother God, blessed be. Blessed be. 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 Blessed be.
Let's greet and welcome one another, shall we? Wish everybody a happy Mother's Day. These have signs. This says kindness and gratitude and wisdom and abundance and connection. They're left from. Yeah, we got young people making all kinds of changes. Yeah, and I love it. Yeah, and we still have to. But yeah, all the singers have mics, so we have to make spots for them.
You remember Lou and Dottie?
Yes, I was thinking about them just the other day.
Every once in a while.
Oh, good. They can come back anytime.
That's right. I know.
Invite them to come back.
Well, they
Living down in Vero.
I don't know why they do.
She liked that better. Yeah.
Yeah, she liked to be closer to Miami.
Yeah. You know, hugging is so wonderful that if you didn't get enough, if you still need more to supply your hug fix, stay after the celebration and hug some more then. Greetings are important. E-Man, where are you? Over there. Oh, right there. Okay. We have a surprise. It's not on your program. And a special surprise for his moms and other moms. So go for it, E-Man.
I'd just like to say, that's the last one. I'd just like to say that's the second one. That's the first one, and I can't see the first lines. Yeah, just open up the picture. Well, I'd just like to say a couple things beforehand. I am very thankful that I have a mother, and like I said before, that's the last line. That's the third to the last. Sorry, second to last. Okay, that's the one. That's the one. Okay. I'd just like to say, dear Mom, after 12 months of waiting, it's finally here. The one day that's yours. Can you please go back? The one day that's yours. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Start over. Okay. Dear Mom, after 12 months of waiting, it's finally here. The one day that's yours out of the whole year.
Right, you have to slow down.
It's automatic. Just press space and it pauses. I know how this window thing works. Just press space. Today is the day of not-so-silent reflection on how you've achieved matriarchal perfection. Just as long as it's not the final one, you're good. Since I bet raising me wasn't always fun, know that I appreciate all that you've done. And I'm sure in the past I kept you up for long nights. Even today, we can get into some fights. But with the passage of time, there comes a new dawn. I've realized I'll miss you so much when you're gone. You've taught me so much, yet I've still more to learn about being a parent when someday it's my turn. Though the rules say it's just 24 hours in May, I think all year round should be my Mother's Day. I didn't tell you that, I told you that.
Okay, thank you, E-Man. Mother's Day is always full of surprises. I'm so glad you're here with us. We all get to be surprised and be with the process and help it happen, help it unfold. To lead us in our affirmations, Reverend Bethlen Gurry from Geneva, Switzerland.
Well, good morning. Happy Mother's Day. Before I start with the affirmations, I just want to say hello and goodbye. I'm leaving on Wednesday to go back to Geneva, but physically I'll be over there, but you know that we're all one, and we're all united, and we're not separate. It's only an illusion. So I invite you to stay with me and join with me. And I've brought with me my brochures for this summer's event for a Spiritual Awakening Conference. And I have a lot here, and I'll bring more, and they'll be out there if anyone is interested. Follow us on our website. If you can't be there in person, do follow us and be with us in spirit, and you can even share your wealth and abundance with us as we support this new work over in Switzerland. Another note, there is a center, many centers in the Ukraine. I don't know if you know, there's 2 in Crimea, which is now part of Russia. These are hotbeds of things going on, and there are centers there, prayer work going on. We're praying constantly, and it's having an effect. And I don't know if you've noticed some of the events that have happened in recent days, but it is working. So I invite you to join us. And last week I handed out prayers for peace. Keep on joining us with that support. It's really, really important. You have so much power to help and create peace in the world through your daily affirmations. So if you didn't get one, I think there probably are more around here from last week. Thank you for that, and I'll see you in the end of July, early July, I guess. So our affirmations for today are for Mother's Day on your sheets. They're also up there. This Mother's Day, I celebrate motherhood, and I celebrate and give thanks for the nurturer in each of us. Within me is the unborn possibility of limitless experience. Mine is the privilege of giving birth to it, and so it is. And from what we believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. And our Oakbrook affirmation, we are so thankful for this center, which is such an important part of the life in Ocala, in Florida, and in the world. I am thankful for Oakbrook, for the teaching of the science of mind as an empowering way of life at every age, and for the abundance it brings into my life, my center, and my world. I am grateful for our ever-growing spiritual community of love, freedom, and acceptance. I celebrate with a thankful heart our beautiful new spacious center as we welcome our divine unfoldment through gifts of music, encouragement of our youth, and all life-enhancing activities. Oakbrook's vision supports us all in experiencing full and realized lives as spirit in expression. God's love empowers, and so it is.
Welcome to Oakbrook, a place of love, light, and learning. As we sit quietly, we can close our eyes and shut down a lot of the input that we have every day and think of being in this place of love. The love that's here, all a little left over from last usage, but all of you have brought love with you because it's a gift of life from your Creator. This is a good year, a good week, a good day, and a good time to think about being, just being, who and what we are, and all that we can perhaps be. But learning is part of the important thing in being. We can never learn too much, and so we are very appreciative of the message we will receive today from Reverend Peggy. For that message, we are truly grateful, and so we are, and so it is.
Mama, you taught me to do the right thing. So now you have to let your baby fly. You've given me everything that I will need to make it through this crazy thing called life. And I know you watched me grow up and only want what's best for me. And I think I found the answer to your prayers. And He is good, so good. And He treats your little girl like a real man should. And He is good, so good. He makes promises He keeps. No, He's never gonna leave. So don't you worry about me. Don't you worry about me. Mama, there's no way you'll ever lose me. Giving me away is not goodbye. As you watch me walk into my future, I know tears of joy are in your eyes. 'Cause He is good, so good. And He treats your little girl like a real man should. He is good, so good. He makes promises He keeps. No, He's never gonna leave. So don't you worry about me. Don't you worry about me. And when I watch my baby grow up, I only want what's best for her. And I hope she'll find the answer to her prayers. And that she'll say, He is good, so good. And He treats my little girl like a real man should. He is good, so good. He makes promises He keeps. No, He's never gonna leave. So don't you worry about me. Don't you worry about me. Mama, don't you worry about me. Don't you worry about me.
Isn't Joyful Noise wonderful? They just keep getting better and better. We're so blessed. Well, we have a very special message today, and it's kind of a combination of things. So I just invite you to come along with the ride, if you would, because it's time. What does that mean to you? It's time. The flower in the background in this photograph you gave me last summer, so thank you for my new azalea bushes. About a year ago, I think it was, when John Waterhouse was here and presented me with that trophy for having served as a regional support coordinator. And then I think it was Gail that came up and presented me with a gift certificate for a nursery up near Spar that had native plants. And so the things that I chose were native azaleas. And this is the first time I've seen this one bloom. And there'll be another one that you'll see as well. So thank you so much. They bloomed in this last month, so they may be kind of a Mother's Day gift to me, I guess. And there's the other one. That one bloomed early April. Have 2 bushes of that and one of the orange, which I call orange and they call red, but real treats. And they are native, so they're deciduous, and have them planted in little woods off beside the house. The sandhill cranes, I had promised you a few weeks ago that I'd be giving you an update about our sandhill cranes. So this photo I didn't take, but it looks very much like the mature adults that we have that come into the yard. They're almost as tall as I am. I guess they're about this tall, with a wingspan of 5 to 6 feet, you know, and they make that wonderful sound that sandhill cranes make. And back on early March, I started to notice that only one was coming to be fed. We give them some cracked corn, and only one was coming. And I kept thinking, well, that's the dad because the mom's on the nest. They look so much alike, and they're so much the same size. I should have looked more closely, because my research has shown that the mom and dad take turns on the nest. And so here's one of them on a nest. I did not take that photo either, but the rest of the photos are ones I've taken. Because they live in the wetlands, and they love that. And of course, since I'm on the lake and there's lots of wetlands right there, we're at a perfect place. And so this, back on March 20th, was the first time I saw the new babies. And they were really tiny. They even looked tinier than in the photo. I zoomed in on that. And they'd gone through the chain link fence, or around the chain link fence, to get into the neighbor's yard. And then, of course, only the parents fly. So the little guys were stuck over there when a noise came along that scared them. But they were small enough to wiggle through the chain link fence. So that's how small they were back on March 20th. And here's a closer up picture of them. Yeah. And then back on April 15th, I saw them again. So there were several weeks in between that I had not seen them. And they're now, you know, a third or half the size of the mom and daddy. And funny little bony feathery characters. Lost that yellow feathers and gone for the green. This device that's right behind the baby is something that Chick invented so that only birds with long beaks can get to the cracked corn. So, of course, when the babies are around, I sprinkle some on the ground as well. But at least there's some that's left there, and the squirrels and the other birds don't get it all. So that's what that funny little device is that's there. And so this was last week's. Notice how big they are compared to the mommy and the daddy. But they're healthy and strong, and we have lots of predators out in the forest, you know, alligators and otters. And last year we didn't have any, although they tried more than once to have some. I think we just had too many predators and they didn't make it. But this year they're going strong, and definitely the hawks are not going to get them now. And I'm so pleased. So happy Mother's Day to whichever one of those is the mom. You know, and I can't, and happy Mother's Day to the dad too. I want to talk today about mothers, about females, and how we differ from males. How many of you women would like to know some really interesting facts about how men and women are different biologically, physiologically, from new research, not the way you think? You know, the brains of men and women, the brains of girls and boys, they're testing with the new MRI technology that they have, and it shows that girls' brains fire differently than boys. On different occasions, different situations, that the nurturing nature of the female isn't just a learned experience, it really is built in. And those of us who are moms or have moms, how many in here has never had a mom? How did you get here? A woman tells a story in the book that I read about the female brain. She wanted to not force her daughter to play with dolls, so she didn't buy her any. She bought unisex toys for her little girl. And I don't know how old the little girl was when this happened, but the mother walks into the room, and the little girl has her toy fire engine wrapped in a blanket. And she's cuddling it and telling the little fire engine that it's going to be okay. So, I mean, that's not scientific. That's an anecdotal thing. But here we have differences between men and women, and that's a good thing. And then for us to realize also this wonderful idea, I'll come back to that, this wonderful idea that there may be some questions answered by this book called Women and Intimate Geography. First of all, I'd love to have you know what wowed me in this book. It says this woman was a scientist. She's a scientist and a medical doctor. She was also pregnant when she wrote a portion of this book. And she said, as the research has shown, and research, of course, has required them to take some looks in things they hadn't seen before, that girl fetuses have all their eggs in mid-fetushood. In fact, they have, at 20 weeks gestation, 6 to 7 million eggs. And by puberty, all but 400,000 will have taken to the wing without a squabble, without a peep. The attrition continues. So we girls started out with 6 to 7 million eggs before we were born, and then those start to diminish. So we're perhaps perfecting and leaving only the best ones, you know? Mother Nature's very smart. And for us to think that that's happening. And so at most 450 of her eggs will actually be solicited for ovulation. And of course, if you have a lot of babies, you don't even do that too many times. But by the time menopause comes, all of them are gone. Boys are very different. They don't start to get what they need to create their offspring until they're teenage boys. But the girls are born with them. And the vestiges of them, the little tiny ones, matter of fact, the little ovaries, the book says, are the size of the word ova. That's how little they are. With all of these 6 to 7 million eggs inside. Isn't Mother Nature amazing? You know, think about all the acorns falling from a tree or all the fish that are hatched in the ocean. But we as human beings also have that divine potential for many times populating the earth. Aren't we glad we didn't have to do that, though? So here we come and we take a look at those kinds of things about life. My mom right now, 93 years old, is in the hospital down in South Florida. So on Friday, I drove down to see her, and yesterday I drove back late in the day so I could be here this morning. I'm so excited about this talk that I wanted to be here with you to do that. I may drive back down this afternoon. But this photo was taken out the window in the the hospital room on Friday night of the sun setting there. So I'm just going to let that sunset over Weston, Florida, be the background of what we want to talk about this morning. Days and nights are mixed up. 6 hours driving each way in the last 2 days, 600 miles. I'm a little different than normal this morning, so please bear with me. This wonderful concept that it's time. It's time to take our power back, perhaps. It's time to take a look at the history of motherhood. It's time to take a look at what our own history has been and what it is ours to do. And then also to widen that, because it isn't just women that can nurture, right? I always bring the men in on Mother's Day, and each of you have a Mother's Day gift before you leave. You know, lots of churches give out a carnation, but I love plants too much to give out a plant that's going to die for you in the next few days. So out on the patio, there's a 4-inch marigold, mixed marigold for you to take home. Everybody, those of you that have come from out of state, you can take 2. But don't tell them when you cross the state lines that you have anything alive. This idea that everyone is a nurturer, everyone has within themselves this divine potential to nurture the planet. And as we awaken to that, I'd like to look at this as a sunrise and not just a sunset. That the sun is rising, and it is time for not just women to come into power for their lives individually, but for us to come into power to bless the planet, to make the planet all that it can be. When we have little ones growing up, and if we worked at the same time as I did when my kids were growing up, that takes all our time. And as far as having a vision for the world and our nurturing the world might have been had to set on the back burner. But I invite us to know how important it is, and for us to get a handle on what's important. A good friend of ours, Noelle Marshall, is in this book. Remember Bob and Noelle, and they came and did the Birth 2012 event a couple of years ago? She's in this book because this is an anthology of women writers, and the title is Revolution, with the revolution pointing out the word Eve in revolution, and the return of the divine feminine. And I'd like to tell a story that's in here, if I find it. Lost my place. We are coming out of the of an era of fear, force, control, suppression, and separateness. And we are entering the era of love, flow, letting go, allowing, and unification. We are leaving the era of trusting the external, governments, systems, money, authority, and television, and we're entering the era of trusting the eternal, the internal, but also the eternal. Ourselves, our inner guidance systems, our spirits, our hearts, and our wisdom. I would like to share with you a fable my mother used to tell me when I was a little girl, a story I never forgot, a story that for some reason really stuck with me, maybe so I could tell it to you today. Once upon a time, there was a king who had 3 daughters. He was getting older and was considering how he might fairly divide his kingdom upon his death. He decided to use his daughter's love as a measure of how much each daughter should receive. So one day he called upon them to tell him how much each loved him. The first daughter told the king, "Dad, I love you more than all the gold in the whole wide world." The second daughter said to the king, "Dad, I love you more than all the precious stones and diamonds in the whole wide world." The third daughter really loved her father and tried to figure out how best to convey it. After some careful consideration, she finally said to his father, "Dad, I love you more than all the salt in the whole world." The king was outraged. "I can't believe that I'm worth no more than salt to you," he yelled. "You are no daughter of mine. Pack your bags and leave the kingdom at once. I don't want to ever see you again." The daughter was devastated. What had she done? She only tried to convey her utmost love and respect for her dear father. But now what was she to do? The king in his rage had disowned her and banned her from his kingdom. So she packed her bag and left her family and everything she'd ever known. Broken-hearted and with tears streaming down her face, she made her way through the lonely forest when she ran upon an old woman carrying a heavy load of wood. Immediately, her caring soul offered, "That looks heavy, dear woman. May I help you carry that?" "You may, my child. That's very kind of you," the old woman replied. "Why, you look like you've been crying." "What's got you so sad, my child?" she inquired. As they walked together, the young girl told her story to the old woman, who patiently listened. "I'm so sorry to hear that, my child, but don't worry yourself. You can stay with me for a while. I can see you are a kind soul and show you appreciation for helping me. I will help you win back your father's love." "Well, that's very kind of you, but how can I win my father's love back when he never wants to see me again?" the young girl replied, full of doubts. By then they arrived at the old woman's house, nestled in the middle of the woods. "Come on," the old woman encouraged. "Everything will be fine, my child. You see, I'm an old witch, and I have certain powers. I can make all the salt disappear from your father's kingdom and all its surrounding areas." She pointed to a small salt shaker. "Hang on to this. This will be the only salt left. When the time is right, you will take it to your father." And so it was. The old woman with a whoosh made all the salt disappear from the king's land. As the salt finally ran out in the king's palace, the king commanded, "No problem, we'll bake and eat cakes." But as soon as he ate nothing but sweet for days, which turned to weeks and months, he started to become ill. I'm surprised he's the only one, aren't you? He sent his people out to look for salt, ready to pay any amount, but they all came back empty-handed. No amount of gems or gold could buy salt where there was no salt to be had. The king became sicker and sicker, and no one knew what to do. At that point, the old woman said to the girl, "It's time. It is time," right? It's time for you to visit your father. Take the salt shaker with you and give it to him. It'll help him get better. So the girl went, and against all the king's orders, the guards let her in as soon as she told them she'd brought salt for the king. She gave the small salt shaker to her father, and soon thereafter he became well. "My daughter, I'm so sorry for what I have done to you," he said. "I now finally understand what you meant. Salt is more precious than all the gems and all the gold in the world. I now understand that you do truly love me the most. Not only do I want you to come back, but my whole kingdom so shall be yours." And so it was. Thanks to her kindness, her genuine love, and the help of an old woman, she not only won her father's love back, she taught him a valuable lesson, and in turn, he rewarded her with his kingdom. So the question that we have for all of us this morning is, are we placing value in our lives on the things that are really valuable? And if love is what it is, then of course we're doing it in the right way, aren't we? In that wonderful reading that Christina read for us this morning, how beautiful that was from Cynthia James, and who's doing the daily guides this month. This idea that love is at the core, and it's time for that love to be shown forth in such wonderful ways. For us to love ourselves first, which was the thing that was in the daily guide this morning, wasn't it? And then for us to know that that love of the divine flows through us out to bless all the world. And so those of you who are mothers this morning, or fathers that have youngsters growing up, know that that's where we need to put our attention on them, and know that the far-reaching results are important to our world. Here's what George Washington had to say. "My mother was the most beautiful woman I ever saw. All I am, I owe to my mother. I attribute all my success in life to the moral, intellectual, and physical education I received from her." And this is a portrait of George Washington's mother. He looked like his mom, didn't he? Yeah. And then Abraham Lincoln said, "I regard no man as poor who has a godly mother." This wonderful idea that it is time for this love that's within us and that divine potential that's in each of us to take our power back wherever we are. For us to know who it is that we are as divine spiritual beings. It's time for all those things that we've been waiting for to happen on planet Earth, and to know that we are at the very center of helping to make it happen. First, to raise our children. Oh, there was another quote here. Mother Teresa, what can you do to promote world peace? Go home and love your family. This idea that it is time for us to know the part that we will play, and that as our kids get older and ready to leave the nest, that we then shift our attention perhaps away from our immediate family and know that the whole family of humanity needs what we have to give it. The nurturing love that is ours to give. For us to look beyond our immediate family and know that we are here on the planet to bring great good, to nurture the planet back to wholeness, and to nurture ourselves back to wholeness, and for each of us to look inside ourselves enough with visioning and introspection and quiet time to begin to allow that to awaken in ourselves, and to know that the work that we do is just as important as that young girl in the story, that she saved her dad by bringing home that most important thing, that salt, and that within you, you have the salt that the world needs. It's time for you to know what that is. So to take some time, and all of you have already a great glimmer, and many of you are already giving that great gift. But for us to each continue to allow that to unfold as we move through the different stages of life, as we open to the possibilities of life, that the part that we have to play is so important. So let's do our affirmation together, shall we? This Mother's Day, I celebrate motherhood. And I celebrate and give thanks for the nurturer in each of us. Within me is the unborn possibility of limitless experience. Mine is the privilege of giving birth to it. And so it is. So let's turn within, shall we? Let us move into this place of nurturing our own heart, of breathing into our heart. Let us sense the presence of the divine right there. Let us feel ourselves being nurtured by an infinite source of all love. Let us know that it is time for us to take time to really feel that often. And to allow that divine love to so empower us that our own individual lives just keep getting better and better and better. As we tap that one power that creates the whole universe and is available for our use. And then let us know that this flow of divine love so expands us that the gifts that we have to give the planet are huge. That we're up for it. That it's time for us to become those nurturers of ourselves, of our families, and of planet Earth. And that we have all the power that we need to do that work. I do give thanks that this is so. And so it is. Mm-hmm.
For all those times you stood by me, for all the truth that you made me see, for all the joy you brought to my life, for all the wrong that you made right, for every dream you made come true, for all the love I found in you, I'll be forever thankful, yeah. You're the one who held me up and never let me fall. You're the one who saw me through it all. You were my strength when I was weak. You were my voice when I couldn't speak. You were my eyes when I couldn't see. You saw the best there was in me, lifted me up when I couldn't reach. You gave me faith 'cause you believed. I'm everything I am because you loved me. Ooh, you gave me wings and made me fly. You touched my hand, I could touch the sky. I lost my faith, you gave it back to me. You said no star was out of reach. You stood by me and I stood tall. I had your love, I had it all. I'm grateful for each day you gave me. Maybe I don't know that much, but I know this much is true. I was blessed because I was loved by you. You were my voice when I couldn't speak. You were my eyes when I couldn't see. You saw the best there was in me, lifted me up when I couldn't reach. You gave me faith 'cause you believed. I'm everything I am because you loved me. You were always there for me, the tender wind that carried me, the light in the dark, shining your love into my life. You've been my inspiration. Through the lies, you are the truth. My world is a better place because of you. You were my strength. You were my voice when I couldn't speak. You were my
You saw the best there was in me, lifted me up when I couldn't reach. You gave me faith 'cause you believe.
I'm everything I am because you loved me. Yeah!
You were my strength when I was weak. You were my voice when I couldn't speak. You opened my eyes when I couldn't see. You saw the best there was in me, lifted me up when I couldn't reach. You gave me faith 'cause you believe.
I'm everything I am because you loved me. I'm everything I am because each and every one of you loved me.
Let's all breathe, shall we? Let's all breathe. Such a gift. If you're like me, you just got all kinds of images of our moms and those that have loved us over a lifetime, as Donna and the Joyful Noise were singing. Such treasures that we all carry, right? We all carry such wonderful treasures. And thank you for awakening that in us. I'm forgetting what we're doing. Oh, yes. It's time to celebrate our abundance. I don't forget that, really. Well, I just invite us to just expand in this wonderful sense of divine givingness that comes through our mothers and those that love us, and to let this time of our celebration this morning be a time of abundance in all ways, and it shows forth in the symbol of perhaps a check or a dollar bill or something, and for us to see that that abundance is God giving great gifts to us and through us, and that source is unlimited. So let's celebrate that abundance of God's givingness as we share our affirmation. You can put your gift to your heart, or if you give through the internet or another way, or your hand to your heart. Yes, let's celebrate our abundance together. How good it is to know that I am the place where the abundance of the universe flows. And as the abundance flows through me, it is with a grateful heart that I give. I know that as I give, so much more is given back to me. Gratefully and joyfully, I give of my time, my talents, my gifts, and my heart. And so it is. And those of you with prayer requests, hold them up so that Betty will find you with a prayer chest. And if you're still writing, or if you need a pen, if anyone wants to write a prayer request and does not have a pen, raise your hand. We'll bring you a pen. So if you raise your hand and there's a prayer request in it, we know you have a pen. If you raise your hand and there's no prayer request, we'll bring you a pen.
All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly.
I invite us to turn within and recognize the divine source, the very center of our being, that wonderful source that supplies us with everything that we need. In this very moment, I do give thanks, especially for our tithes and offerings this morning. Oak Brook Center for Spiritual Living begins because it was an idea, and it's sustained by the givingness of each one. And I do give thanks for that. And I give thanks for what we do when we give at Oak Brook as we are giving to God, and it comes back full circle, tenfold, blessing our lives in ways that include money and beyond. I give thanks that this is so. I give thanks for the abundance in our lives. I also give thanks for our prayer requests this morning. I know that the answer to each and every one already exists in Divine Mind. And as the writer of those prayer requests, know that it is so. It unfolds wondrously. I give thanks for our prayer ministry team, our ministers and practitioners who will be praying in confidence over each of these requests this week, knowing that that outcome is higher and better than even written on the page. I do give thanks that all of this is so, and so it is. And now in preparation for Reverend Vicki giving us our spiritual mind treatment this morning, let's remain seated, and I think we have a slideshow with some photos of moms. You want to just set it back on the table there? And we're just going to enjoy the music that is a background to that. So photos were taken of mothers last week. They're in there, and if you send in photos of your mom or someone, those are included as well.
Woman's spirit is beauty. Woman's spirit runs deep. Woman loves with compassion. Our perfection is complete. Woman's spirit is graceful. Woman's spirit is wise. Woman's spirit is moving, bringing love into our lives. Woman's spirit is passion. Woman's spirit is birth. Woman's power unfolding to honor life on earth. Woman's spirit is beauty. Woman's spirit is beauty. Woman's spirit runs deep. Woman's spirit runs deep. Woman loves with compassion. Loves with compassion. Our perfection is complete. Our perfection is complete. Woman's spirit is graceful. Woman's spirit is graceful. Woman's spirit is wise. Woman's spirit is wise. Woman's spirit is moving. Woman's spirit is moving, bringing love into our lives. Woman's spirit is passion. Woman's
Mommy,
We're gonna honor life, honor.
very nice.
Yeah, to honor life, honor life, honor. One spirit and
Wow. Let's just take a deep breath, and with that breath, just bring all your heart space and know that it's good and very good. For we know that God is power and peace and love and caring. That God is within us. And as we go within, we find all the answers that we need. Some call it divine intuition. Some call it that thing that we better pay attention to. And some of the most wonderful experiences that are on our heart this day are our blessing from our moms and to our moms and from all those that now understand the importance of nurturing, as we see more guys stepping into that role. For we know that God is so much, and we are that so much. And we unite with it. We speak our word for all good things for all the earth. And we know that as we release this treatment into the law, we give great thanks that this is so, and so it is.
Okay, let's stand and form a circle for our Oakbrook family song, shall we? How appropriate to sing our Oakbrook family song on Mother's Day. Very appropriate. We have some young people in the back. We'll wait for them. I have to get used to looking at the clock in a different place. Yeah. Are the young people coming? Are the kids coming? Yes, okay. Very good.
Happy Mama's Day, everybody.
Yes, happy Mother's Day. Do be sure to go out and get an annual and take it home. You know, even if you don't want to plant it, just set it on a windowsill and enjoy it. It will last a pretty long time. There are tissues out there in a box, the regular sandwich kind of tissues, to carry them home so they don't get your car dirty. So, or you dirty while you're carrying them. But there's one for everybody, not just moms. One for all the kids, too. Everyone take one. And the ones that are left we'll plant here at the center.
I think the kids may still be in the middle of some activities. So
Okay, we'll go ahead and sing the Oakbrook song. Oops, here they come. There's Cindy. There they are. Thank you, Cindy, for being back there today. Thank you, Tad. Thank you, Cindy. Oh, boy, pretty Mother's Day gifts that they made. Look at that. Okay, we're ready, Brian.
We look around, our family is here, spirit has guided, and now we can see clear. Oakbrook's our center for spiritual living, a place we can share, cause all are so giving. Leave today with our hearts anew, an example to the world, that's me and you. So we join hands and hearts till we all meet again, united together as family and friends. We stand for something and against nothing. We accept everyone without changing them, awakening people to the truth of their inherent divinity, creating a world that works for all humanity. Look around,
year. Oak Brook's our center for spiritual